You're such an asshole.
All right, so here's the deal. Many of you are going to waste your time on this whole Russian-Ukraine thing. And I'm not against the Ukrainian people. I hope no one dies. I have a completely different angle on this. But long time ago, Cappy was a sovereign risk analyst, and I could analyze all these things. Turd Flinging Monkey was the same thing, though, but he was in the military. And I'm going to explain to you, I'm going to save you all time, because that's what economists do. We save you resources. I'm going to explain what's going to happen so you can get on with the rest of your day and be like me. You don't watch the news no more. Because humanity is utterly simple, utterly stupid, and utterly predictable. So I'm going to explain why the West response is Minnesota nice. Right. In order to understand the West response, you need to understand the culture of the Minnesota people. All right. And in the olden times, back, 50s, 40s, 60s, or whatever, Minnesota was known as Minnesota nice. The reason it was known as Minnesota nice is because the winters are so harsh there. You had to be nice to your fellow neighbor because it meant life and death. So everyone was very polite and civil. Everyone would help each other out. Well, technology advances, the suburbs are built. And what happened, is particularly happened in my generation, is when you were young, you thought, oh, Minnesota nice. Oh, the people are so nice. And well, that's probably because you're hanging out with older people like your grandparents, people in the rural parts of town. But definitely starting in probably happened in the 70s and 80s, but was in full swing in the 90s, was you got to Minnesota. Oh, Minnesota nice. I hear they're nice here. No. The culture, the people of Minnesota had, I wouldn't say evolved, but devolved into being some of the most backstabby, fake, cliquey, elitist people. If you want to find a job in Minnesota, you better have relatives. You better be related to someone. You better be in the right clique. You better be in the right frat. You better be in the right sorority. You better be from the right suburb that begins with a vowel or ends with one. And what many people from Wisconsin discovered, because they had reciprocity with college tuition, is that there is no such thing as Minnesota nice. It's Minnesota backstab passive aggressive. And the defining characteristic of your modern day Minnesotan, doesn't matter where they are, city, suburbs, rural, is they will smile and lie to your face. And the second you turn around, they will stab you in the back and talk smack about you. They are the epitome of virtue signaling hypocrites who just want to show they're caring because they care so much. But when it actually comes time to help out their fellow man, that is something their grandparents did many generations of Minnesotans ago they used to do. And the reason ultimately Minnesotans do that, among, they're not the only ones, but the reason that they do that is because they don't want to work. They don't actually, to actually help out a fellow person that's in need, or to help out society. That takes effort. That takes work. That oftentimes also means there's delivering bad news, a confrontation. Disciplining your children. I don't think one person's been spanked in Minnesota since 1963. They don't spank their children. That's why their dogs urinate and pee and defecate in the house. He's got the number of pets in Minnesota that have bladder problems because it's the Minnesota nice. Well, don't spank the dog. That's anything difficult, avoid. And so what you do, instead of discipline, tell people no, hold standards, hold the line, put yourself in an uncomfortable situation, sometimes having to face somebody down, what you do is you smile, oh, that's okay, we understand. And then they stab you in the back in every other way possible. They sabotage you, they subterfuge, games of thrones type of stuff. You girls know how, like, you're going to help out your girlfriend, Tina, get a boyfriend. No, you're not. Oh, you go ahead, have that donut, girlfriend. You earned it. Corporate America, working over there in Minnesota, Cargill. They will smile at your face, but if they need to discipline you, they'll do it in the most cowardly way. If they need to get the revenge, they're going to do it in the most cowardly way. And that's the modern day West in terms of the defense. We have been playing, instead of a game of efficacy and efficiency with our government money, in this particular case, the Department of Defenses across the West, instead of playing like, hey, this is serious stuff, the protection of the nation, the protection of our people. We have been so soft and so spoiled in the West that now we can afford to be Minnesota nice. Everything is, we get to LARP. Everything's amazing. It's fantastic. It's made of plastic. And you sent in a bunch of politicians, a bunch of weaklings, not just women. I know that's the meme and the shtick going around, but that's part of it. It's a symptom of it where it's like, oh, let's just grab. I mean, let's go take a look at all the defense ministers that are women. Do any of them have military experience, combat experience, or did they study things at universities and never work a day? And they're just going to be peaceful. They're going to be nice. Oh my goodness, we're so brave. We're breaking into the boys' network until a real man comes along named Vladimir Putin and shoves your shit in. Until there's a no joke, real, I wouldn't even say threat, but real problem now. Now, all of a sudden, you got defense ministries. You have a culture of defense, a culture within these governments of make-believe, of LARPing, of don't do anything difficult, don't make the hard decisions. But whatever you do, don't disturb people's happiness. Don't do anything that's hard. This is fun time. This is play time. It's fantastic. Made a you mean I actually have to do something now? And instead of confronting Putin militaristically or previously, like, you do any of this, you think you're going to shove our shit in? You're going to be flying the rainbow flag. We're going to shove so much shit up your ass. Oh no. It was just mimosas, right, girls? Right, girlfriends? Yes, queen. What is that it? Oh, and having the woke military? You're all playing Barbie is what you were doing. And now that it's time, now there's a real wolf, you're like, oh, and you don't have the balls. None of you got the balls, both figuratively and literally in some cases. You do not have the balls. And so the West's response to Vladimir Putin is going to be one of cowardice and Minnesota nice and passive aggressiveness and backstabbing. And of course, I mean, everything's fair in war. But, certainly there will be special ops sent to the grave, essentially, to stop something that's not stoppable. But you could see it in the first female president, President Joe Biden, we've had, in his response. We're going to have sanctions. I was going to say sanitation. Sanctions. So you, naughty, naughty Russia. Yes, queen. Think Australia said they're going to blockade? Blockade what? With what navy? Of course, maybe they meant sanctions. You're not exporting stuff to Russia? Oh no, Russia only has the largest landmass on the planet. I'm sure they'd be okay. They don't have that big of a population. And if again, anyone wants to hire me, you could. I'm expensive, but a little free bit of business for people who want to sidestep, the United States. You want to put America in a corner. Right now, if Russia just went to China and says, hey, everyone's blockading us, can you, since you produce everything in the world, will you trade with us? China be like, yeah, cool. What's the United States going to do? Like, oh, China's supplying Russia. They're not participating in the thing. Isn't it so middle school girlish? Isn't it so high school girlish? Okay, we're all going to not talk to Becky. Becky asked out my boyfriend. I like Becky. We're going to go get it. Mean Girls. Is that what? All Russia and China are like, hey, can you supply us with the stuff? Yeah. We're going to do. We're not buying your stuff anymore, China. I guess your economy is going to go to crap in about a month. I mean, my gosh, we get everything out of China, and now everything go to Russia. And then you'd have your world reserve currency right there. I don't know, someone paid me an egregious amount of money. But getting back to the non-military response, your propaganda, your subterfuge, your backup, you're gonna twist the knuckles or turn the screws or whatever, dude. Putin don't care. I paid attention to their economy. They're not in gobs of debt. They have positive GDP growth, low debts, people that work, tons of natural resources. You're not going to stop them. You don't have the balls to stop them. And so that's what you guys are going to see. It's going to be all the mean girls, the Beckys and the Tinas and the Amys and the Cassandras, the Heathers. Anyone get that joke? It'll be a bunch of the Heathers play their little mind games and little click games in middle school and high school, and they're not going to stop them. Oh, they might inconvenience the Russian economy. They might, but you're not going to do a military strike. You're not going to do anything. And Putin knows it. Why? Well, frankly, because you're a bunch of pussies. You're a bunch of backstabbing, passive-aggressive, Minnesota nice people who aren't going to discipline your children. You aren't going to hold the standards. And instead of having a set of balls and being brave and courageous and confronting whatever, the bully, the criminal. I mean, gosh, you go look at Minnesota state law and like defend your ground laws, look at what happened with the riots. Oh no, let's get rid of the cops. Those are your defense ministers. Can we just have a biscotti and talk about it? Yeah, I'm taking over these segments of Ukraine, making them Russia. Bye. And there's nothing else. That's it. That's all it is. Putin's going to take those little segments of Ukraine, which I guess were ethnically Russian anyway. I don't know. Haven't you noticed? I tried to find it real quick, like refresh my mind. Like, why did Putin invade Russia or invade Ukraine? If anyone can find an article that tells me why, like, what did he do? What did he say? I can't find it. It just said that he did. It's kind of that naivete, how they taught us in high school and middle school about U.S. history. Well, we're just sitting there licking our lollipops, and the Japanese just bombed Pearl Harbor, just out of the sky for no reason. And then you have to go and look it up. Well, wait, that don't make sense. Why would they just up and bomb us? What did we do to them? I mean, because that's how they painted it. Well, it was just a sunny day in Honolulu, and then kaboom! Whoa! What the F, man? Where'd that come from? Well, take a look at the war with China and us blockading them and not letting them have oil. There was a reason. You may not agree with it, but there was a reason. I can't find the reason. It's not like Putin just had a hate boner for Ukrainians. Like, yep, today. Wow, what are you doing? What do you guys feel like doing today? Go play billiards? Want to go hunt moose, Russian moose? Hey, I got an idea. Something different. Let's invade Ukraine. Yeah, there we go. They won't expect that. There was a reason. You're not going to find it just like, Putin just up and, and again, I know I'm rooting for Putin, but it has nothing, ironically, to do with Ukraine. It's just exposing just what a bunch of leftist, fake, fraudulent, LARPing pussies the leaders of the West have become. You've had it so easy for so long that you've been able to afford crap like woke military recruiting, where you're putting people in positions of power because of the color of their skin, not their content of character. Isn't our like Department of Defense a boy or a girl or something, a trans? Isn't that, or is that the Secretary of the Navy? One of the higher ups within our military. Dude, whoever you are, or dudette, whoever you identify as. I'm not even fine. You can identify. You weren't hired because of your efficacy, or because of your competence. You were hired because of what you claim to be in terms of what genitalia you like to lick. I want, and now I know you all hated George Bush and his, Condoleezza Rice, but boy, I bet a lot of you wish Donald Rumsfeld was back, don't you? Bet, who do you want? Huh? Who is our Secretary of Defense? I don't even know. I guarantee if we look at Rumsfeld was a Marine. James Forrestal. No, that's not what? U.S. Secretary of Defense. I liked it back in the olden days when the country was originally, we had a Department of War. I go right back to name, man, this is the Department of War. Secretary of Defense. Lloyd J. Austin III. Oh, already a nepotist. If you go to the website, they all got their masks on. Lloyd, graduate of U.S. military academy, West Point. Okay, 41 years in uniform. All right. Well, I stand corrected. That guy sounds like he's actually legit. Okay. The third, though, I'm wondering. So there you go. There's your political analysis. There it is. You all thought this was a game. You all thought it was like, let's just take all the taxpayers' money and we're going to have social experiments and it's just going to be tea and biscuit. We're going to, you know what it is? You know what it really is? You're having tea. You're having a doll party. You're having tea with dolls. You're all playing make-believe. And now you got the real deal. A no bleep threat just happened. And now you're like, we're not going to talk to Becky anymore. And that's what it'll be. So you could watch presidential speeches. You could watch all the defense ministers, read the news, political analysis by CNN expert Bobby Bobbinson. What do you say? Oh, it couldn't be Bobby Bob. It has to be LaFonda Shanaquay. Because we can't just have somebody who maybe read The Economist intelligence. We got to have someone of color come in there and be a female. Because that's more important. Well, my analysis. Oh, shut up. You're all going to be Minnesota nice. You're all going to be like, oh, daddy's home. And Putin's just going to walk away with it. He's just going to walk away. Anyway, my best wishes to everyone out there in Ukraine, both the Russians and Ukrainians. Wish you could have solved your differences peacefully. I don't want anyone to die. I think maybe you could have a talk. Maybe. I never understood that, though. Like, okay, they're mostly ethnically Russian. Well, what do they want to do? Like the Falklands. Isn't this no different than the Falklands? Like, that's British territory. They're British. They want to be British. Well, let them be British. But shouldn't you poll them like, hey, do you want to be part of Russia or do you want to be part of... All right, it's 70 to 30. 70% want to be Russian. All right, so you got 30% people who don't want to be Russian. They want to be Ukraine. Well, could you come up with an agreement? Like, well, look, for a mere fraction of the cost of a war and invasion, we'll buy you some property in Ukraine. We'll buy your property off of you and you go move to Ukraine. All right. Is that fair? Is that nice? Maybe much more? No one listens to me. No one listens to me. So there, yeah, see, now the numbers are up. Now a lot of people tune in. Russia. Oh my gosh, let's tune in. Do we have any super chats? Scrolling. Keep those scrolling. Rawhide. There you go. All right. See you guys later. Toodles.